Hi, church. It's good to be with you even through this format. We are so happy to be back from Australia. We want to thank you for your prayers for us while we were there and praying us home. We're very happy to be back with you, and we sure missed you. We would prefer, of course, to be able to meet with you in person on Sunday morning. But at least for a season, we need to meet online in small groups of less than 10 or even one-on-one. So before we record the message for tomorrow, I want to talk to you tonight about a number of things that we can all be on the same page, especially after I've been gone these past 2 weeks. First, pastors have been asked to address the coronavirus, and so there's a couple of things I want to say about that. There's been a lot of disinformation on the news and social media, so a few basics that you may have already heard or already know, but if you don't, this is what you need to know. As of Saturday noon, there were 14 positive cases of the coronavirus in South Dakota. 4 of those are in Beadle County, and 5 of those are in Minnehaha County. To date, Spink does not have any positive cases, and so it is critical that you be extra careful if you're journeying into counties that have had positive cases. Of those 14 cases, they are all between the ages of 20 and 69. That is a little bit surprising that it hasn't reached into older ages than that. And of those 14 cases, 11 of those are male. That seems to fit a worldwide trend. 70% of the fatalities thus far around the world have been male. Men tend to be more susceptible to this, partly because God designed us with weaker immune systems. There are 3 key symptoms that you need to be aware of and be looking for. One is a dry cough. Another one is 100.0 temperature or higher. And the third one is shortness of breath. One of the reasons why we are so concerned about the coronavirus is that South Dakota only has 90 ventilators in the state. And so it's critical that we keep the positive case counts low, because there really isn't much to date as a medical remedy in place for a high case count. One of the other reasons why schools have been dismissed is that young people very seldom show symptoms of the coronavirus, even if they test positive. So they can be carriers of it and not be aware of it, and spread it to people for whom it will be much more dangerous than it would be for them. 4 of the things that we can do to prevent the spread of COVID-19 is washing our hands. If you wash your hands and say the Lord's Prayer while you're washing your hands, you will have washed your hands sufficiently. Staying home. If someone in the household is sick, you need to stay home. Social distancing, and then keeping hydrated is critical in preventing the spread of the coronavirus. You need to keep your nasal passages in your mouth moist. And social distancing has proven to be the most effective tool in slowing the spread of the coronavirus around the world. In terms of announcements, what will we do as a church? First, we will continue to be the church. The church has officially left our building. We may not be able to meet together on Sunday for services for a while. We don't know whether that's 1 week, 2 weeks, a month. We don't know for how long. But there are things that we can do. We can love and serve one another, and we can be very intentional about that, and we will need to be more intentional about that while we can't meet together. Secondly, we can experiment with doing ministry in different ways. This includes experimenting with Facebook Live and other platforms for an online church experience. We are not really set up to do this as well as other churches that have satellite churches and feeds and all of that, but we will do our best starting out tomorrow with just an online message. And I'm pretty uncomfortable with this whole process, but we will learn and grow through it together. Social distancing has its own set of problems that it brings with it. We are made by God for interaction with other people. Too much social distancing can make some people physically sick. The elderly in particular are prone to quit eating and drinking without social interaction after a while. Therefore, we need to be intentional and we need to be creative in meeting the needs of people for whom social distancing will cause the most distress. You and I both know of people who are pretty happy to be socially disconnected and distanced from other people. But there are other people who genuinely need hugs and handshakes and people talking to them and them able to share with people. And so you know those people, and we need to make sure that those people's needs are met during this time. We need to make sure that everyone in our congregation is getting at least some contact every day with someone that cares about them. So you may need to adopt some people and take that ministry on and make a call to 3 or 4 people that to make sure that everyone is getting needs met. If that's something you're willing to do, and if you'd like to say, hey, I'm going to watch over these 2 or 3 people, if you'd call Priscilla so that we know those people are taken care of and we can focus on some other people, that would be great help to us. One of the other things that we can do during this time that we can't meet together is use and access right now media in our homes. Our church has a membership that is available for anyone within our church. If you don't already have an account with them through us, we would ask that you send us your email address by email or by phone call, and we will get you set up, or Arlene Sanger can get you set up with an account through them, and you can take advantage of all the online video resources that they have for devotionals, Bible studies, children and youth resources. They just have a lot of great content for you. Secondly, I want to invite you tomorrow evening, Sunday evening at 5, to watch Michael Jr. You would need to go to Facebook and in the search, put in Michael Jr. Comedy. He's doing an 80-minute comedy show free of charge, and humor is one of the things that's very good for us in high stress times. It's good medicine. Michael Jr. is a committed Christian. I've seen him live several times, and his humor is funny and clean, and it will just provide some great family entertainment for you during this time. Third, we as a church want to use this time to the very best of our ability to take advantage of doing projects that are best done when our church is not in physical use. So, dependent upon, of course, weather and finances and contractors and all of that, we would like to start work on the parking lot as soon as the frost and the weather permit. And then I want to finish announcements with just a word about the old church location. I want to thank all of you for how wonderful you have been through this process of seeing the old church demolished. The city was not able to finish that project as yet. The ground was too soft, and they just decided that they would do more damage than good to the property there by going ahead with that. So they're waiting for it to dry out some, and then they'll come back and rip out the foundation of the old church. Meanwhile, the fellowship hall needs to be closed up and all of that, and Jack and Vince have been doing a great job taking care of that, making doors work and all of that, and so we want to thank them for their work on that. But there are other things that need to be done, things that require youthfulness, and so if you're younger than I am, we would love for you to come and just donate 1 hour of your time sometime in the next week at the church and just help us to clean up the exterior of the fellowship hall. We still got some things hanging off the side of it that didn't get completely taken off when the old church was demolished. And so we need to take care of that, clean up the grounds and the site around that, and just make that property look a lot better. Then in the coming months, we will be working on selling the contents that are inside the fellowship hall and begin preparations to get the property ready to sell. Obviously, we can't take a physical offering if we're not having a physical service. So as your ability allows you to, we would encourage you during this time, however long it lasts, to give through the Tithely app on your phones, or you can mail your tithe to the church address at 38519 174th Street, Redfield, South Dakota, 57469. We invite you tomorrow to come check us out, and I'll have a message for you, a little shorter than normal, but a message from Psalm 23 to share with you tomorrow at 10:45. Thank you.